Yes, ready. By this order, I shall dispose of the pending application being IA number 11454 of 2006 filed by the plaintiff under Order 6 Rule 17 CPC read with Section 151 CPC for amendment of the plaint stop. The amendments sought by the plaintiffs are mentioned in para 12 of the application stop. Originally, the plaintiffs filed the suit for declaration permanent and mandatory injunction against the two defendants, namely Lakshmi Vilas Bank Limited and Canara Bank Stop. The following reliefs were sought by the plaintiffs as per the plaint filed in the year 2004. Stop. Pass a decree of declaration that pursuant to the deeds of sub-lease dated 20 November 1996, under which the defendant number 1 has entered upon the suit property bearing number 74 Janpath, New Delhi, and is in occupation as plaintiff's tenant. The defendant number 1 is bound to retain the leased premises till the entire duration of the lease ending on 20 November 2011 and pay rent as agreed for the full duration of the lease to the defendant number 2 to be credited to the escrow account of the plaintiffs, with the defendant number 2 pass a decree of declaration declaring that the notice dated 27 April 2004 sent by defendant number 1 to the plaintiffs are illegal, invalid and void ab initio, and that defendant number 1 cannot wriggle out of its liability to continue with the lease of the suit property bearing number 74 Janpath, New Delhi, in terms of the deeds of sub-lease dated 20 November 1996, passed a decree of permanent and mandatory injunction restraining the defendant number 1 from determining the lease prior to 20 November 2011 and vacating the suit property or till such time on discharging the entire liability owed by the plaintiffs to defendant number 2 against the rents receivable from defendant number 1, whichever is earlier. Stop stanza. Along with the suit, the plaintiff filed an application under Order 7, Rule 1 and 2 read with Section 151 CPC being IA number 4640, seeking interim order inter alia to restrain the defendant number 1 from determining the lease and vacating the suit property prior to 20 November 2011 or till such time on discharging the entire liability owed by the plaintiffs to the defendant number 2 against the rents receivable from the defendant number 1. It was also sought that the defendant number 1 be directed not to withhold the payments of arrears of lease rental charges to defendant number 2. Stop. The said application was disposed of wide order dated 28 October 2004. Stop stanza.